All right, so today we're going to do something a little different. We're cracking open one of the oldest texts on the planet, but we're not going to read it like some dusty old philosophy book. No, we're going to decode it as, believe it or not, a surprisingly precise guide to the physics of our entire universe.
So what if I told you that a poem, written over 2,500 years ago, actually contains the secrets of the Big Bang? Yeah, I know, it sounds completely out there, right? A wise old sage from ancient China describing the birth of the cosmos. But that's exactly the mystery we're diving into. We're going to explore this wild idea that maybe, just maybe, Lao Tzu wasn't only a philosopher, but maybe he was one of the world's first cosmologists.
Think about it. On one hand, you've got ancient philosophy, quiet reflection, maybe under a tree somewhere. And on the other, you have 21st century cosmology. We're talking particle accelerators, quantum physics, the whole shebang. They seem worlds apart. But what if they're telling the exact same story, just using different words?
All right, let's dive in. We're going to start at the very beginning. Actually, even before the beginning. Lao Tzu kicks things off with this really fascinating idea he calls the nameless.
So, this is our first big clue. He says, the nameless is the beginning of heaven and earth. Think about what that means. Before the universe, before anything we could see or point to or give a label to, there was this state. So, what on earth is it?
Now, this is super important. When he says nameless, he doesn't mean an empty void. It's not just, black nothingness. He describes it as something else entirely, like a unified field, a sea of pure, formless potential, where everything that would ever exist was just waiting to happen.
And here's where things get absolutely wild. This is the moment ancient wisdom high-fives modern science. Because physics today has a name for this exact state of pure potential, the quantum vacuum. It's not empty space at all. It's this field that's literally buzzing with invisible energy, with particles just popping in and out of existence all the time. It is the ultimate nothing that is somehow the source of, well, everything.
Okay, so if the nameless was the state before everything, then what lit the fuse? What sparked the actual moment of creation? Well, Lao Tzu calls this next stage the named. And this is where all that potential finally bursts into reality.
He says, the named is the mother of all things. I love that phrasing. It's like a cosmic womb, right? This is the exact point where a potential becomes actual, where that silent, formless state gives birth to a universe filled with things we can actually see and touch and distinguish from one another.
So how does a cosmic birth like this even happen? Well, believe it or not, physics has a theory. The idea is that a tiny quantum fluctuation, basically an overflow of all that invisible energy in the quantum vacuum, could have triggered a massive, universe-altering event. An event that just shattered the perfect, calm symmetry of that nameless state.
And what do we call that event today? You guessed it, the Big Bang. It's just incredible. The mother of all things that Lao Tzu talked about thousands of years ago, it lines up perfectly with our modern understanding of the Big Bang, that one singular event that exploded into space, time, matter, and light.
And this is the universe we're all living in right now. The named is our physical reality. It's the galaxies, the stars, the planets. It's a cosmos where everything has a shape, a boundary, and of course, a name.
Okay, so quick recap. We've got the nameless, that nothingness before creation. And we've got the named, the universe that came after. They seem like total opposites, right? But here is where Lao Tzu's genius really shines through. He tells us they're secretly one and the same thing.
So get this. Lao Tzu says these two states, the unseen potential of the quantum vacuum and the seen reality of our physical universe, they both come from the exact same source. They just have different names. It's like one is unmanifested energy, and the other is that same energy, but now manifested as matter.
He gave this unity a name, Suan, which means something like the deep, dark mystery. So what is this mystery he was talking about? Well, it's the exact same principle that Albert Einstein would discover thousands of years later, that energy and matter are just two sides of the same coin. E equals mc squared? The unmanifested potential became the manifested universe.
And just when you think it can't get any crazier, look at this. Lao Tzu described a model where everything is made of yang, the positive force, and yin, the negative force. And they're held in balance by this neutral energy called chongqi. Now, does that sound familiar? It should. It's an almost perfect mirror of the atom, the positive proton, the negative electron, and the balancing neutral neutron.
I mean, come on. The parallel is just, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Okay, so this is way more than just a cool physics lesson, right? Laozi wasn't just describing the universe. He was giving us a blueprint for how to live in it. So why does any of this cosmic stuff actually matter to you and me right now?
Well, it's because this cosmic story is our story. Every atom in our bodies was forged in the Big Bang and in the fiery hearts of stars. We aren't separate from this process. We are literally children of the stars. We're fundamentally, deeply connected to all of it.
So here's Laozi's advice, kind of translated into modern terms. Our five senses, they're great, but they can only pick up on the noise. You know, the chaotic, messy, physical world all around us, a world that's always moving toward more disorder. But he's saying that underneath all that noise, there's a signal, a silent, unified source, that quantum vacuum, that's quietly holding everything together.
So his survival strategy is a cosmic one. It's basically this: stop fighting the current. Let go of all that unnatural, ego-driven force. Tune out the sensory noise for a minute and try to tune your awareness into that invisible source, that quantum vacuum. If you can sync up with that underlying cosmic frequency, you can return to your natural orbit. You can find that balance and peace.
So, in the end, the question Lao Tzu leaves us with, even 2,500 years later, is actually pretty simple. In a world that is just full of distractions, are you listening to the noise? Are you listening for the universe's signal? Are you paying attention to the fleeting chaos of the world around you? Are you trying to hear that deep, silent signal of the cosmos that you came from?